Section 27, Addressing Client Concerns. Throughout this course, we've explored every major step of the residential financing process, from pre-qualification and loan approval to closing costs, lender responsibilities, and selecting the right loan program. Now let's focus on something every successful real estate professional experiences: people. Buying a home is exciting, but it can also be emotional, stressful, and sometimes overwhelming. Even buyers who have purchased homes before may become anxious once they're under contract. As a real estate professional, one of your most valuable skills isn't explaining loan programs. It's helping clients remain informed, confident, and focused throughout the transaction. The more questions you answer, the more confidence your clients gain. Understanding buyer concerns. Most buyers aren't worried because they don't trust you. They're worried because they're making one of the largest financial commitments of their lives. It's perfectly normal. Some common concerns include, what if my loan doesn't get approved? What if interest rates change? What if the appraisal comes in low? What if I lose my earnest money? What if something goes wrong before closing? These questions don't always require complicated answers. Often buyers simply need someone to explain the process calmly and honestly. Real-world example. Tyler and Ashley were purchasing their first home. Everything seemed to be moving smoothly until the lender requested additional employment documentation. Ashley immediately became worried. Does this mean we're getting denied? Their agent smiled and replied, not at all. It's very common for underwriters to request additional documentation. Let's get everything to your lender as quickly as possible and let them continue doing their job. 2 days later, the buyers received their final loan approval. The problem wasn't the documentation. The problem was fear, caused by not understanding the process. Listening before answering. One of the biggest mistakes new agents make is trying to solve every problem immediately. Instead, start by listening. Allow buyers to explain what they're worried about. Sometimes the concern isn't financing at all. It may simply be uncertainty. Once you understand the concern, you can provide factual information or direct the client to the appropriate professional. Good communication often reduces stress faster than having all the answers. Using plain language mortgage terminology can sound intimidating. Instead of repeating lender terminology, explain concepts in everyday language. For example, instead of saying your file is in conditional underwriting, you might say, the lender has reviewed your file and simply needs a few additional documents before they can finish approving your loan. The information is the same. The explanation is much easier for buyers to understand. Arizona broker tip. Never assume your client understands the financing process. Ask simple questions such as, does that make sense? Would you like me to explain that differently? Would it help if we called your lender together? Many buyers hesitate to admit they're confused. Giving them permission to ask questions builds trust. Knowing when to refer. One of the most important skills a real estate professional can develop is recognizing when a question should be answered by someone else. If a buyer asks, why is my interest rate changing? Should I lock my rate today? Which loan program saves the most money? Can I qualify with this debt? Those questions belong with the lender. Your responsibility is to coordinate, not underwrite. A simple response such as, that's a great question for your lender. Let's call them together so you receive the most accurate information. Protects both your client and your license. Helping buyers stay calm during escrow. Almost every transaction experiences at least one unexpected challenge. An appraisal may take longer than expected. The lender may request another bank statement. The title company may discover an issue that must be resolved. None of these automatically mean the transaction is falling apart. Experienced agents understand that solving problems is part of the closing process. Helping buyers stay patient and informed often prevents unnecessary panic. Real-world scenario. A buyer called their agent late on a Friday afternoon. My lender just requested another pay stub. Are we going to lose the house? Instead of speculating, the agent contacted the loan officer. The lender explained they simply needed the buyer's most recent paycheck because the previous one had become outdated during underwriting. Within an hour, the document was uploaded. The loan was approved the following Monday. What seemed like a crisis turned out to be a routine underwriting request. Building confidence through communication. One of the easiest ways to reduce buyer anxiety is through consistent communication. Successful agents don't wait until clients ask for updates. They provide updates before buyers begin wondering what's happening. A simple weekly phone call, email, or text message keeps buyers informed and reminds them that someone is actively managing the transaction. Many problems become much smaller when clients know what's happening. Your role as the real estate professional Arizona real estate professionals are educators, coordinators, and advocates. They are not loan officers, underwriters, accountants, or attorneys. Your responsibility is to explain the transaction process, keep clients informed, communicate honestly, refer technical questions to qualified professionals, help buyers remain focused on reaching a successful closing. By understanding your role and respecting its boundaries, you provide exceptional service while protecting the public. Contract law connection communication is an important part of successful contract performance. Financing issues, appraisal concerns, underwriting conditions, and closing delays may all affect contractual deadlines. By keeping clients informed and coordinating with lenders, escrow officers, and other professionals, real estate licensees help reduce misunderstandings while promoting successful contract completion. Online discussion question: why do many buyers experience anxiety during the financing process? Answer: purchasing a home is one of the largest financial decisions most people will ever make. Uncertainty about financing, deadlines, and closing often creates stress, especially for first-time buyers. Question 2. When should a real estate professional refer a buyer to their lender? Whenever questions involve loan approval, underwriting, interest rates, qualifying, or loan products, the buyer should be referred to a qualified mortgage professional. Question 3. How does good communication help reduce buyer anxiety? Answer: regular communication keeps buyers informed, reduces uncertainty, answers questions before they become larger concerns, and builds confidence throughout the transaction.